Testing 1 2 1 2.
IMF's Fiscal Affairs Director Gasper adds that the UK is living with high interest rates, low growth, and public investment is badly needed.
Okay, mic test 1 2 1 2. Mic test.
So 1 minute now until we get the markets on open imbalance and the US cash equity open for the day.
Okay, welcome everyone to the Pro Trade Room Plus and the Canada rate statement and existing home
So we're
sales.
looking now to the markets on open imbalance. The S&P
My name is
500,
Lee Goldstein, the
170
trading
million to the
director
sell
for 10
side.
Minute
The
Trades.
Nasdaq 100
Please
is 2
remember,
million to the
all
sell
the
side.
trades we
The
discuss
Dow
for
30 stock
educational
seeing
purposes.
25 million to the sell
It is
side.
possible
The
to
Mag
lose
7
money
stock
trading
seeing 5
futures,
million
so
to the sell
trade
side.
carefully. And let's get started this morning. Okay, I do want to welcome everyone that we are streaming live on YouTube this morning. So thanks for joining us. And okay, the markets are getting ready to open. They are opening at the moment. Make sure everyone that you have set up your make sure you've set up your sync so that your computer is ready to trade right on the dot with time. So go to the website time.is and make sure your computer is in sync. And if you're not, we do have tools in our trade room that will help you. The room drive on the trade room taskbar has files for you if you need them. So don't forget, markets are opening at the moment. Another negative start to the day. Before we got here, I took a magnet trade, very early entry, and I got out early, made a few bucks, but I had to get ready for the trade room. It's really hard to trade, get ready for the trade room, set everything up. But again, a great magnet. But very important to use good size stops with magnets. But it really blasted through this morning. So I really like trading the magnets, and I especially like gold. All right, what we've got this morning is the Canadian bank rate statement to start. So the Canadian bank rate statement is a trap trade, and it's one of those trades that it definitely has risk. It sometimes works. Every now and then it's a breakout, but more often than not, it is a trap trade. We had one recent setup where it just didn't work as a trap no matter what we tried to do with the setup. It just kept going and going and it ruined the stops. But overall, it is a trap trade setup. It doesn't always reverse perfectly. So it's definitely one of those trades. It has risk. 6C 1224. It's not anything approaching a family money trade. And I just want to also give everyone a reminder. I'm posting in the trade room and I've posted it on YouTube. We do have a webinar tomorrow at noon and everybody's welcome to join. There's the link. So what do you do with the Bank of Canada? We have a spike sheet. Our spike sheet gives us an idea how good of a trade this really is. And I'll show you why I say that. So when we look at the spike sheet, September, it did not fill because our tiers are 18 and 25. Our stop is 25. July, it was a nice trade. June is the month we got stopped. It just
MMS Gasper
kept
says this
going
dead
through our
path cannot
stops.
continue to rise forever, but it is currently
April,
sustainable.
it would have filled and been a pretty good trap. March, possibility of a decent trap. January, no fill. So I'm going to trade it. I think we're at a period right now where either there's less interest in what the banks do or you're going to get a good move. So I think it's possible that we either get a good move and a possible reversal, which is what we want from a trap trade, or it won't fill. So my feeling today is it's worth taking the trade. So that's what I'm going to do. It was just like the way I thought about Boeing
So
this
in
morning.
terminals time now at
I
9:45
thought
a.m.
Boeing would
Eastern
have a
time, we see the
decent
release of
move
the Bank of
because of
Canada's
all
rate
the
decision.
news surrounding the
Median
company,
forecasts
and
a
it
50
did
basis point cut
have a
to
decent move.
3.75% from 4.25%. With this, we also see the release of
All
the
right,
Bank
so
of
we have
Canada
a
rate statement.
DMM. The Canada Bank rate is on our DMM. Our DMM is our trade sheet, helps us to trade this report. So I'm going to right click,
So it is worth noting that
click
the
on
analysts on the
strategies,
Bank of Canada rate decision team
trap
are
trade,
divided between 25 and 50 basis point
and
cuts, whereas the Bank of Canada's
I'm going to
OIS pricing
activate the
shows that
trade
markets are looking for around 45 basis
at
points, showing that they are favoring a 50 basis point cut at this
9:59,
meeting alongside median
55.
analyst expectations. But again, just worth noting
Now,
there
if
are
you're
some
using the
outliers
previous
expecting a
version
slight
of the
cut from the Bank of
software,
Canada at this
excuse
meeting.
me, previous version of the software, you're going to activate it. Time of event is 10 o'clock and prep is 5 seconds. That's the same as us putting our orders on the chart 5 seconds before the news. It's a 9:44:55. Stand corrected. It's a 9:45 event, not a 10 o'clock event. For years, this has been a 10 o'clock event. 9:44:55, and if you're trading the previous software, 9:45 Eastern time is the correct time, not 10 o'clock, 9:45. Prep of 5. So current software, 9:44:55. Stop is 25, and my tiers, tier 1 is 18, tier 2 is 25. And I'm just going to label it trap trade, and I'm trading it. That's setup number 1. Standard trap trade. What do we expect to happen? We expect if the market goes up, we go short. If the market goes down, we go long. Okay? It's not that complicated. We're going the opposite direction of what the move is. Generally, with a trap trade, if there is a move, for instance, if there's a move to the upside and it doesn't fill us, and then it changes direction, that's when you cancel a trap trade. That's the proper time, in most cases, to cancel a trap trade. And I'll talk through it as the market moves. Okay? So just a very simple trap trade being set up. And also what I'm going to do is set up a secondary trade on a different account, 6C. So let's say, for
MMS Gasper
instance,
says that China has
we don't
ample
get
policy space.
an initial trade, nothing happens, but a trend gets created, then possibly you can have the opportunity to enter that trend if we use our reversal continuation setup. And I'll trade just one position, see if there's an opportunity. Target will be 15 ticks, and my stop will be 20 ticks. So just setting up a simple reversal continuation. I'll label it reversal, and then choose the account that you're trading it in. When you enable the reversal, you get your buttons, instant, long, instant, short, because the reversal continuation is a discretionary entry. Don't forget, it is a discretionary entry. And then after this event is over, we'll zip over to the gold chart and we'll take a look at existing homes. All right. Now, while we're here, so look, our Canada trade is set up. Over the course of the last 6 months, let me read to you what the results were. September, 11 tick
It's been 5
move,
minutes
no
time now
fill.
at
Okay.
9:45 a.m. Eastern Time. This
July
is the release of the
was a
Bank of Canada's
35
rate
tick move,
decision.
and we had a very
Media
nice trap
forecasts see
trade.
the Bank of Canada cutting rates by
June
50 basis points at this meeting
was the
to
month that it went through our
3.75% from
stops, and we were
4.25%.
stopped out.
It is worth noting there are some
April,
analyst outliers expecting a smaller
took
cut from the
90
Bank of Canada at
seconds
this
to
upcoming
fill.
meeting.
So not everybody
Alongside the
would have
rate decision, we
waited
see the
long
release of
enough
the
for the
Bank of Canada
April
rate
trade.
statement as well.
March, quick profit, or it might have stopped you if you didn't get out fairly quickly. No fill in January, and then if we go back to December, it did fill in December for a profit. All right. Existing homes, just to look at last month, because it's a short amount of time between the events. In September, now existing homes was one of those home reports that we traded and had a DMM for a very long time, and then it stopped performing at all. And it seems to be coming back somewhat, but all of the home reports were somewhat difficult over the past couple of months. Now, existing homes in September hit the first target. I know that new homes gave us some problems. We've had a couple of whips on some of the home reports. Existing homes had a decent move in September. All right. It definitely hit the first target. Let's watch the market for Canada. I'll probably give existing homes a shot. Not a trade that I highly recommend. You know, if you want to trade the best of the best, then you may only trade a few times a week. That's the reality. Best of the best might be a few times a week, right? I probably would trade quite a few of the early morning earnings. I like a lot. Now, we may have discovered a couple of new earnings thanks to Langford. Found a couple of extra possibilities for earnings next quarter. Travelers Insurance, um, TMO. I don't even know the name of the company. I forgot the name of the company. TMO was, I have to look it up. Scientific. Very expensive stock. Moved the market very nicely this morning. There's no question that in some ways the early morning earnings are the best, most reliable trades because the risk is low on most of them. All right. So this news is going to be released at 9:45. And I'll try to talk through the trap trade. All right. The market has to go 25 ticks to fill us, right? It has to go 25 ticks to fill us because our trap trade setup, I take that back. 18
1
and
minute remaining
25.
for the
It's got
Bank
to
of
go
Canada rate decision.
18 and 25 to fill us. So if we get an 18 tick move, we're filled. All right. We have a stop of 25. Our second tier is 25 ticks. So we have a 50 tick zone of safety. 50 tick zone of safety. If there's a burst of 50 ticks, we'll get stopped. But you saw the trap sheet, the spike sheet. There were no 50 tick spikes in a long time. So I don't anticipate a 50 tick. But we do anticipate a rate decrease. Maybe 50 basis
10
points.
seconds.
Order submitted.
Shrink your chart if you can't see your orders.
Order canceled.
Cut
I'm
to 50
filled.
basis points, cut to 50 basis points, cut to 3.75%.
50 basis point
as
cut.
expected.
I'm moving. Cancel the outer
Order
tier.
canceled.
So the
Move
Bank of
your
Canada says
stop
it
to
expects inflation to
safety.
remain close to target over the
Expand your outer target to the high of the day.
balancing out.
Trail.
Continues to be in excess
Trail.
with inflationary pressures
Okay.
broad-based.
If you get taken out here, it's okay.
Order canceled.
You're in a
Bank of
nice
Canada
safety
say the global
place.
oil
You're in
prices
a
are
nice
$2
safety
lower than
place.
assumed in the July MPR. Bank of Canada says the labor market remains soft and Canadian
Now, everyone who traded the trap, if you did what I did, and if you never traded the trap, you should be practicing, right? You shouldn't do it live. You shouldn't do it live. You should practice. Don't do it live. You never did it before. If you've done it before,
per person is expected to begin rising in the
it
first
was
quarter
pretty
of next
quick
year.
today. You had to
Risks to
be
the
quick.
inflation outlook are balanced.
You had to be
Shelter
quick.
inflation has started to
Cancel
ease.
the outer
Bank of
tier.
Canada note that
Was that
annualized
top
Q2
button?
GDP was 2.9%,
Now I'm just
versus
watching the
1.5%
price.
that was predicted in July.
It seems to
Q3
me
seen at
there's a
1.5%
lot of
versus
downward
2.8%
pressure at the
seen
moment.
previously, whereas Q4 seen at 2%, not previously
I'm
forecasted.
not jumping
CPI
into
inflation is
anything at the
forecast to
moment.
remain close to 2% over the
We've got our
projection
existing
horizon. Core
homes.
inflation
I'm just going
expected
to
to
watch
decline
for a
gradually.
minute. My
Bank of
trap
Canada
trade
forecasted
ended
inflation is
with
to
a
average
small profit,
2.5%
medium
this year,
profit,
at 2.2%
about
next year,
75,
and
80
2%
bucks.
in
It was only one
2026.
tier, right? It's only
Bank of Canada
$5
Governor
a tick
Matt
on
says
Canada.
now our focus is to maintain low and
You're not going
stable
to get
inflation.
rich
Need
unless
to stick the
you
landing.
up
Says
your
data
number
in
of
bank survey
contracts
suggests that we are
when
back
you
to low
trade
inflation.
$5
This
a
is
tick.
good news for Canadians. Q3
But it's a
output gap
nice
seen between minus
Nice trap.
8.75%
Exactly
and
what I
minus
thought might happen today.
1.75%,
We got a
roughly
good
unchanged
little
from
move.
Q2.
They were expected to drop 50 basis points.
Bank of Canada note the potential output growth
And I
expected
think
to
that
slow
helped us
from
get a
about
decent sized
2.4%
move.
this year to around 1.9% average over next year. 2026 seen unchanged from
All right,
July.
there seems to be chop in the market at the moment. Let's go over to gold
In the Canadian dollar as the
and
Bank
let's
of
go
Canada
over
cut
to
rates
our
and
next
signaled that
event.
if the
You know,
economy
we
continues
have
as
two
forecast,
events right in
they
a
could
row.
continue to reduce interest
Two
rates.
events right in a row. So let's get ready here. We can show the video in a couple of minutes after our next event. So bear with me here. All right. Let me just restart my video. Did anybody trade that with me? Anybody trade it with me? No. Tell me why you didn't trade it with me. Are you not comfortable trading the trap trade? Are you just not ready? Robbie, you never trade 6C. Okay. Now, I don't like to trade 6C on breakouts, but I don't mind 6C on traps. So that's the thing to realize. If you don't like the breakouts, the traps are great because trap trades trade well when liquidity is challenged. All right. So that's something to realize about 6C. The traps, when they're obviously when we test them and they look good, they're very, very tradable. Just like Australia. I don't like trading Australia breakouts because liquidity is very challenged. Unless we have a report, if it's working as a breakout, we'll do it. But if it's a 50-50, maybe a breakout, maybe a trap, Those are the ones that I don't like to trade as a breakout. I would rather have a bigger trap setup, not get filled, but don't lose money. All right. You want to be smart when there's liquidity questions. All right. Existing homes. Now, maybe if you want to be careful, you could look at micros or just one contract on existing homes, right? So here's how I would set existing homes up. And for our YouTube friends, I want to thank all of you for watching. I'm going to keep the stream alive. If you hit the like button, we'll keep the stream alive through existing homes for everybody watching. So let's look and see if we have a setup, which I know I do for existing homes. It's not a DMM anymore.
So in 10 minutes time now at the top of the hour, see the release of the US existing home sales.
But the market, the home market, home sales
With a range of
are
3.95
definitely
to
able to
3.73
move
million.
the market.
The change
There's
at
no
0.5%
question.
forecast.
They
On
can.
the prior
Do
minus
they always?
3.5%.
No.
We also
Are
see the
they
Eurozone consumer
inconsistent?
confidence flash
Somewhat,
forecast minus
yes, without a
12.5
doubt.
on the prior minus 12.9.
Existing
Range of
homes,
minus 11 to
new
minus
homes,
13.6.
pending homes, all three of those reports
Now keep in
are
mind, we're also
somewhat
expecting
inconsistent.
comments from
So you
ECB's
got to keep
Lagarde
that
and
in mind.
ECB's Lane, who speak in Washington, discussing Europe's economic challenges
So
and the
let's
path
see what
forward
we got.
during the IMF World Bank Week at the Atlantic
I
Council.
would prefer a bracket of 8 if we can do it. The reason being, it's not a giant mover, and I'd rather not leave all my profit in the bracket. My targets are going to be 6 and 15 with a stop of 14. Target 1 stop move, BE minus 3, break even minus 3. Okay? Let's say you just want to trade this and you don't want a lot of risk because it's not a great report and you want to trade it with one contract. Same bracket, same time, of course. Use a target of 10 ticks. 10 to 12 ticks is what I would use. If the market moves X ticks, make that 8, and then move your stop to break even plus 6. And that's giving you your first target. Our first target is 6. Okay? So if the market moves 8 ticks and then it pulls back, this should be manageable so that you could protect that profit using if the market moves 8 ticks, move my stop to break even. Sorry. Yes, 8 ticks, move my stop break even 6. Okay. It's not a big profit. It's not a phenomenal report. Keep that in mind. 9:59.59 is our trigger time. Target 6:15, stop of 14. And all I'm going to do is set the time momentarily to 0, right? Apply, okay.
Order submitted.
I want tradable brackets so I can manage
Order
the trade.
canceled.
Now, gold has started.
The Canadian swaps market sees a round
Gold's been choppy today because
chance of
look,
another
it
50 basis
was
point
down
reset at the next meeting in December.
around the time of the gold open, 820. But it's been going up, significant moves down, back up again. So gold has decent sized swings today. Even though it's negative, as of the last half hour or so, it's looking positive right now.
The full
So
rate
gold,
statement from the Bank of Canada now on the feed for those interested.
It's all over the place this morning. Putting my time back to 9:59.59. This is a 10 o'clock event. Applying okay. So our breakout is ready. And then I will also set up that reversal. And what I'm going to do is remove the reversal. I'm watching the ES on the right, okay? But I don't want the reversal on the ES. I want it on gold. So I'm just going to remove that. I don't need it. Confusing things. And I'm going to put a reversal continuation on my same chart. Add another strategy to my breakout chart. Reversal continue. Gold, just 10 ticks. I think even that's a lot. And we'll use a 12 tick stop. Not really anticipating a reversal that I'll be able to catch. I'm not sure I'll be able to catch it on this.
So in 5 minutes time now at the top of
But
the
what
hour,
we
we see
need
the
is a
release of US
position.
existing
We have
home
one
sales.
position. We have an 8 tick target.
This data here
We
for
have
the
a
month
12
of
tick stop.
September.
I like
Forecast
to
3.88
have the
million on
opportunity
the prior 3
to
spot
get into a
86 billion,
trade
with a range of
if
3.95
we don't
to
get a fill,
3.73 million
if we
expected.
know we're filled on
Change
the
month over
wrong
month is
side.
forecasted
You
0.53%
understand,
on the prior
right?
-2.5%. We also
With
see
our
the Eurozone
charts,
consumer confidence flash read for October, forecast -12.5 on the prior -12.9, with a range of -11 to
so we have two
-13.6.
possible setups.
And also keep in mind at the top of the hour, we're expecting comments from the European Central Bank President Lagarde, discusses
Now,
Europe's economic
I
challenges
am
and
listening
the
to the
path
news in
forward
my
during
headset,
the
and
IMF
there are
World
quite
Bank Week at the Atlantic Council,
the
joined by ECB
ECB's
Chairman
Lagarde is speaking at 10. You know, that can sometimes move markets. You never know. So I'm watching the ES on existing homes, and I'm trading gold. All right. Our bracket is 8. Gold's got a little bit of chop right now. I want to be really transparent and truthful. I've got a nice profit on my account this morning. We traded Canada. I traded a magnet. We made money on Boeing. I would not trade this live. Okay? I would not trade this live. Full transparency. I want to see how it does. I'm doing a lot of testing of the fills lately, and that's why I'm trading it in our prop account to see the fills. But if I was really at this moment trying to build this account rather than doing some extra testing, I would just sim this report because its behavior, its performance is not strong enough. Okay. Remember, if you want to make money, trade the best of the best. Also, trade reduced risk on the reports when you want to make money. This is probably a reduced risk. And look at the way gold is behaving. I think very honestly, this should not be traded live. And I'm not even going to throw, I think gold is volatile right now. I think there's a risk of getting filled before the news. So I would, just performance of this report, current behavior of gold, I would not risk a good prop account on this, and I definitely would not be trading it in cash. Doesn't mean it won't work today, right? We know the truth. You could still get a report that works. Now, what would you do if you, at the last minute, wanted to change from live to sim? You would uncheck, right? You would right click, click on strategies, make sure that you have the correct trade highlighted, and you would go down to your account and change the account to sim, right? And then you would put your charts on that account also. Okay?
1 minute
I'm
remaining.
leaving
Public
things as they
existing
were.
home
The
sales.
market is starting to slow down a little bit. But it's like I said, I'm really looking at prop fills right now. But when I'm thinking like you, if I'm thinking like you, if I've got a nice profit on the morning, I don't want to throw it away on a report that hasn't been performing great. I mean, that's it. Hasn't been performing great. What else do I need to say? So our brackets will show up 1 second before the
10
news.
seconds.
Don't forget, you can
Order
always use the
submitted.
adjust button if you feel you need it.
3.84
The
million.
news is out.
4 million, lower than forecast. 3.88 million. The change of -1%,
Now,
-1%.
I would cancel. I would cancel.
Order canceled.
We did not get a burst. It really, and it's almost a matching news report. It's almost
On the
matching.
Eurozone consumer confidence numbers, but first just noting the prior revisions for the existing home sales.
And there's
Prior
just so
revised up
much
to
chop and
3.88
gold.
million from 3.86
It's not
million.
really
The change
conducive
revised up to -2%
to a
from
great
-2
trade. Now, look, I could be wrong. It could go up, but I did not really like just the general behavior of gold before the report. Not crazy about it. And it's really chopping around. Now, it was an 8-tick bracket, all right?
The US September national
So you'd
median
be
home
long,
price
most probably.
for existing homes at $404,500, which is
But
up 3%
not
year-over-year.
much of a response initially to the news, all right? I think we made the right decision. Look at the behavior here. Not conducive. Not conducive. A report that often has not responded well to the market news. So I think we made the right decision. Okay. And I really don't see a secondary trade here. Not at the moment. It did the magnet PP, right? That was a trade. That was a definite trade. But we were doing something else. It's hard to do 80 things at once. We were trading Canada, all right?
Iran on the sidelines of the BRICS summit.
But don't forget your custom
Eurozone
level
consumer
magnet.
confidence flash of
PP is a great
-12.5,
magnet.
-12.5
It's a great
as
magnet.
expected.
All right. So existing homes, we did not take the trade. Why is the low of the day not a great magnet anymore? Because you've got two previous tests. You got one here and you got one here. Magnets are great when there's no previous tests. They're much more reliable. Okay? Any questions? I want to thank everyone on YouTube. Thanks for watching, folks. 2 trades live and free on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next time. So make sure you check the schedule. And we have updated the schedule. This is our last stream this week. We do have a live webinar tomorrow at noon, and the link is in the YouTube on the YouTube stream. So thanks everybody. Hit the like button if you would on the way out. Really appreciate it. And trade room members, we're staying for oil. Okay.